Welcome into the Click It or Ticket post-game report. Andy Bowman alongside Chris Amar. Campbell falls to 11th-ranked Kennesaw State in a close one, 38-35. We go down to Aaron Summers, who's with Justice Galloway-Velazquez, second most tackles ever in a Campbell game. He had 18. Aaron?
Justice, you had 18 tackles today in this game. That's the second most by a Campbell linebacker ever. How did you have such a good performance?
I just stayed to my keys and told my guys if they do their job, then my job will be done also. And I'm grateful to have the 18 tackles, but all my guys played their part in that win, on that game plan tonight.
You did lose by 3 points, but where does that say this team is right now, playing somebody that's ranked number 11 in the country that close?
Oh, it's saying a lot. I mean, we can match up with anybody in the country. We got the same athletes you got, and we just got to execute, and we got to take care of the little things. The little details is what come down to it at the end of the day.
What are some of those little things that you're going to focus on next week at practice?
Just making sure guys approach each rep like they want to win a game, like they want to win a championship. Making sure guys preparate the right way. Make sure guys are in meetings looking at stuff the right way. Just all the little things that come down to it and get us a win.
How can you build off of the way that you guys played today in your next game against Monmouth?
We just go look at the good things that we did, look at the little things that we messed up on, and make sure we capitalize on them throughout the week of practice, and make sure we have a good week of practice, and make sure we prepare the right way.
Thanks so much, and congratulations on having your good game.
Thank you.
Chris?
Thank you, Aaron. I know he would trade it all for a win, Andy, but last year Campbell loses one of their cornerstone players, Jack Ryan, a middle linebacker. We think, how the heck are you going to replace Jack Ryan? Justice Galloway-Velazquez has come in leading this team in tackles, 18 tackles today, second most ever in a Campbell uniform. He is now the anchor of a very good defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Campbell defense really did stand up today. Despite the loss, they did much better against the run. We've seen some games this season where they've struggled against the run. The Davidson game comes to mind, a similar offensive style running the offense and running that option offense. And the Campbells did much better today managing that. It was like he said, just some mistakes that need to be cleaned up. We did have some penalties today as Campbell fans that need to be cleaned up, and we had a couple turnovers too that had a big impact in the game.
Campbell didn't get the win today, but they certainly proved a point. They lost to this team 49-0 last year at Kennesaw State. This year, it was a different story. As we take a look at the highlights, we can see this was a Campbell team that came out ready for this game. They'll go up 7-0 early on the 2-yard TD run from Jonathan Hawkins. And this is what we saw a lot of all day, the scrambling after a 43-yard field goal. Campbell came back, Williams with the 9-yard TD run. But here was Kennesaw State. They lost their starting quarterback, but they got, it seemed like, an even better one in Tommy Bryan. He did a great job of running things, but Campbell was really matching them blow for a while. They ended up leading at halftime.
Yeah, you got Malik Williams, and he's a dual-threat quarterback. He ran for 124 today, threw for 233, and he's an incredible true freshman.
And then going blow for blow, but in the third quarter, midway through the third quarter, 2 Campbell interceptions led to these 2 Kennesaw State touchdowns, and that was the difference in the game. 2 rare mistakes for Campbell, but it made all the difference because Campbell came back and was matching them again blow for blow.
Yeah, you get that wide receiver loose down the sidelines, running that option offense, and it catches the defense off guard, and they get the big score.
Campbell out-gaining Kennesaw State today, 386-343. Campbell's defense holding Kennesaw State to 252. You might say, now, that's not a lot, but it definitely is. As we take a look at the stats, we see that Campbell limiting the number 1 rushing offense in the country to 252. That's more than 100 yards below their yearly average.
Yeah, and that you hold them to that, but then they make up for it somewhere else today, and that's what Kennesaw did to them. The kickoff return yardages took the place of some of the yardage they would typically get rushing the football.
Yeah, 167 kickoff return yards. You make a good point there, Andy. That really kept them in decent field position because they weren't really gaining what they were usually used to against this Campbell team. Malik Williams, 15 of 33 through the air, a TD, 233, and 2 interceptions. One was a weird one that bounced off the helmet of a Kennesaw State player. But if you're playing a team ranked in the top 15 in the country, it's the little things. And just those 2 drives that ended in Campbell interceptions turned into 14 points. That was the difference today. Again, Campbell's going to be disappointed. They came into this game double-digit underdogs, but that locker room thought they were going to come out of here with a win. Campbell does no longer control their own destiny, but they are still in the bid for a Big South Conference title. They're going to have to forget about this one in a hurry because a Monmouth team ranked in the top 25 that beat the heck out of this Kennesaw State team last week is going to come in here to Barker Lane Stadium this coming Saturday.
Yeah, short memory for the Camels. They've got to get ready for next week starting right now. They can't, sit there and worry about losing to Kennesaw. They did a great job staying in the football game today and overcoming a terrible loss last year to this football team. They showed the perseverance. They showed their ability to compete at this level, and that's something that Justin said was, hey, we showed that we can play with anybody, and they did show that today, and they're going to have to do that next week against Monmouth.
This score is going to turn a lot of heads on both sides of things. Kennesaw State rebounding and Campbell hanging with the defending conference champs. Campbell goes to 6-3 in the season. It's their first loss in the Big South Conference this year at 3-1. They'll get a chance at the only undefeated team left in the Big South. They could still get a share of that Big South title. They have to beat Monmouth coming up next week. For Seth Baker in the video crew, Aaron Summers on the sidelines, Andy Bowman, I'm Chris Hamar saying so long. That'll do it from the Click It or Ticket post-game report. Kennesaw over Campbell 38-35.